So I want to take it back to the beginning.
Start with what you know and then try and build and test out from there. So when the idea of starting with what I know came up, I was like, okay, what do I know? And I realized the thing I know is tea.
Jennifer is a tea entrepreneur who's passionate about reimagining the tea landscape in Kenya. She's the founder of T&Co, a business she started in 2018 to focus on adding value to Kenyan tea by creating blends and packaging it locally instead of exporting it as bulk filler tea, as has been the tradition. Lean startup, bootstrapping. How did you initially fund even getting started?
Okay, so
If I asked you what the messiest, most chaotic part about building the business, what would you say?
what kind of messy?
Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So how's business?
Business is business.
Yeah.
So it's going. It's going.
Yeah.
And I think every day that you're alive and your business still exists, you're winning.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
for sure. So when people think about T&Co, I think what I see is high-end luxury, an experiential product. But if I asked you what the messiest, most chaotic part about building the business, what would you say?
The messy. I think everything is messy when
Yeah.
you're building a business, one, by yourself, because I'm a solo entrepreneur, and two, when you're kind of bootstrapping the business,
Yeah.
all parts of it are messy. So it's like, what kind of messy?
Yeah.
For the longest time, I've been the only person in my business. So
Yeah.
I think I would say that's the messiest thing. So there's production days where production gets done. There's admin days.
Yeah.
There's social days. And then there's the reality that you also can't always have everything so structured. So you're running from one thing to another. You drop the ball here. And so people will comment. I post very sporadically. And I know
Yeah.
that's not what you're supposed to do in
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
But when you're wearing all these hats, that's the messiness of the game.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to just do what you can with what you have.
Exactly.
And whatever happens, happens when it
Correct.
happens.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to take it back to the beginning and how you started off. Before T&Co, what were you doing? Where were you? Have you always wanted to get into business?
So yes, I've always wanted to get into business, and my background is in hospitality. So I used to work in hotels. So I've worked in several different countries.
Yeah.
And what I was doing was working in hotels. And when I wanted to, how I know I've always wanted to be in business is my dream was to own my own hotel.
Yeah.
So I figured go work in hotels around the world, get to learn hotel, keeping as it were, and then come home and open your own hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hotels didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
after-
happened for a while,
Yeah.
but it came to an end. And I was like, when I left hotels, I was leaving because I was like,
The
I'm done with
industry.
hotels. I'm leaving
Yeah.
the industry.
Yeah.
But my love for food, my
Yeah.
love for luxury, brought me back. So I found my way back to tea. And I'm Luya, so it's not going that far. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the moment you decided that you were going to start the tea company,
Yes.
how did that happen?
So it happened because I went back to school. I believe in being taught. So I had tried to run like a bit of a dessert company, and I could not figure out how will I factor in electricity into what I charge for my, cake.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get that. And so I was like, I need to go back. Someone needs to teach me. So I
Yeah.
went to business school.
Okay.
And while there, I went to Babson. Shout out to Babson. But they believe in entrepreneurial thought and action.
Okay.
So their concept is to always ideate, start with what you know, and then try and build and test out from there. So when the idea of starting with what I know came up, I was like, okay, what do I know? And I realized the thing I know is tea.
How do you know about tea?
So first, I told you, I start by being a Luya. So at
Yeah.
home, there was always tea.
Yeah.
Tea is a big deal. You
Yeah.
enter Luya home, you have
Yeah.
to be welcomed with tea. And then in hospitality, one of my first jobs was in the UK at the Four Seasons. They're very famous. They do a very nice high tea. So started with that, got to learn about that. And then as I traveled and went to other parts of the world, when I worked in the Middle East, Ramadan, the thing you kind of break your fast with, the thing you can always come back to is joining people and coming around tea. So I just found in every culture, everywhere I went, tea was bringing people together. So I realized, I really understand tea from different points of view, and I'm a tea drinker myself.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I think I should start with tea. That's a
Yeah.
thing I can approach. And
Yeah.
then being in America,
Yeah.
the country that you expect has everything, I was shocked to find they didn't have great tea. So I was like, okay, as a Kenyan with tea, yeah, this makes sense.
So in the States, you started off with tea subscriptions, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me about that.
Yeah, so I started like a niche subscription, and essentially I was creating experiences around tea. So I was curating teas from different parts of the world. I'd pair the tea to a snack, and then I'd create a playlist and give you a little postcard that gave you a bit of a write-up, so you got to learn about the culture of where your experience came from. And then you subscribed, and every month you got a different tea experience. So it was for one person, for 3 people, or for 5 people. Those were the different tiers.
And were you doing all the work on your own at that point? You were like
Yes.
packaging the teas and
Yes. Sourcing
So it was
the
a
tea,
one-man
packaging, taking the pictures, everything. Yes, so it was a one-man show.
Team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Built my website. that was the thing.
Okay, and so how did that go in the States? Did that do well?
Yeah, it did really well. It
Yeah.
wasn't huge because it was very niche. American culture is really coffee based.
Yes.
And so it was quite niche. But in the world of subscription, they tell you that if you can keep a subscriber for 3 months, you've got something. And people subscribed for a year,
That's really exciting.
So it was really exciting. It was
Yeah.
really exciting. It was small, but it was curated, and it made it very special because then people write to you to tell you how much they appreciated the experience or who they had it with, what it reminded them of. And I really love the idea of creating experiences for people and bridging the gap between cultures because we're all just the same.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And so then after the tea subscription, you decided to move back.
Yes.
Can you walk me through that? Moving back to Kenya, did you want to bring the tea subscription here?
So when I moved back, I had remembered in high school all the different food businesses that had opened up, all the things I'd seen Kenyan returnees come home and launch. And I remember noting how short-lived they were.
Yeah.
So I was like, the first thing I should do is not allow myself to believe that I can just pluck an idea that's American, put it in Kenya, and it will work for Kenyans.
Yeah.
And so I remember realizing I needed to spend time kind of seeing what the gap is. And so I put tea down because I was like, Kenya, we're the country of great
Full of
tea.
tea. Yeah,
So I was
full
like,
of tea.
no one needs another tea brand.
Yeah.
So I actually found my way into gifting because what I found was in the space of creating premium Kenyan products. Well, one, I found that we didn't really have a great curator of premium Kenyan products. Like when people bring gifts from Kenya, it always seemed to be like curios. And
Yeah.
I won't knock a curio. They're beautiful. They are our culture. But it's not the only face of our culture.
Yeah.
And I think once you've gifted someone curios, the first year, the first time they come to Kenya, what
You can't
other
do
gifts
that again.
exactly could
Yeah.
you give? So I started curating gifts. And so along that curating journey is where I found that, I think there is space for premium Kenyan tea. And when I looked in that space, what I found was very limited Kenyan ownership.
Okay.
And so that's what really ignited, that's not right.
Yeah.
Kenyan tea
Needs
should
to be Kenyan owned.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did the gifting continue? Are you still doing gifting now? What did the gifting look like? Were you gifting just tea, or what else did you have in your gifting service?
Okay, so the gifting became really wide. So when I first started, I wasn't including tea. And then I saw the need for the tea. So then I started working on the tea on the side, continued with the gifting. So for, I want to say like maybe 3 years at least. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be 19, 20, 21. Yeah, I was definitely trying to incorporate both. And so I was gifting and creating gifts for anyone. I wanted to do gifts for the wedding industry, corporates, individuals. And so I ended up doing a mix. I feel like I'd never really effectively broke into the wedding industry.
Yeah.
But in terms of corporates and for individuals, that's what I ended up doing.
And did you immediately start off with a team, or were you on your own as well?
No, yeah, I was on my own as well.
Yeah.
I think almost like the bad habit I learned from my short stint of doing business in the US was how much you can do on your own.
On your own.
And actually research says that female founders tend to go it alone.
And do a lot alone.
It makes it harder, but we can't help ourselves.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, change that around.
Yeah. And we just learn what we need to learn.
Exactly. And control, right? Because then you're
it.
able to, watch it, make sure everything is going perfectly,
Yeah.
But it inhibits you. So I found I've been growing very slowly.
Yeah.
But my fear was to take somebody on and then not be able to pay them at a point. And I was like, that would be very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at, when we look at tea production. So it would be taking in casual staff.
Yeah.
And when you impact that life, the effect is so much worse than, hiring somebody as an intern who's, gone to school, will go back to mommy and daddy's and be okay.
Yeah.
So that really made me afraid for a long time.
Yeah.
And so what I started to do was to employ people and start a kind of part-time model.
Okay.
And so that's what I started to do as of last year.
Okay.
And so there are 2 other people that now work for T&Co part-time.
Okay.
I'm the only full-time person.
Okay.
And then we have some women, between 4 to 8 women that can come on to help us
Part-time.
in our busiest periods. Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty much bootstrapping and like just lean as you can be.
Lean as I can be.
Yeah. Okay. Lean startup, bootstrapping. How did you initially fund even getting started?
Okay, so when I started in the States, I was able to start because I'd done a business competition and I'd made it to the final 3. So I'd won $10,000. Yeah, it was very useful. Yeah, so I won $10,000. And in fact, it was more than that because as you got through the different heats, you'd win, 1,000 here, 2,000 there. So I'd say maybe between 10 to 15. So I used that to launch the subscription. And then when I came home, I still had 100K. So I used the 100K to launch T&Co here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, 100K.
Kenya shillings. Yeah.
Okay. yeah. Just to be clear, 100K. I mean, that's quite, well, some people start with 10,000.
Yes.
But 100K is pretty a good place to start.
Yeah.
So that covered your working capital in the beginning.
Yes.
And at this stage, are you comfortably able to pay yourself, for example?
So I'm able to pay myself. That started in the pandemic. Whether it's comfortable is a separate issue.
Yeah.
But no, the truth of business, or at least my experience in it, is there are some months, yes, and sometimes that can carry on, where it seems like a year where everything was good.
Yeah.
But then it just takes 1 or 2 variables changing, and then it becomes a bit tricky, and then you're trying to ideate and change things up. So comfortable-ish is how I would put it.
Yeah, but you also mentioned that you were getting help from family and friends.
Absolutely.
What are those conversations like?
Awkward. I put them off as much as I can. But honestly, the truth is, I think to do any business, especially if you're trying to grow something large, it does take raising money. They say your first money comes from your friends, family, and fools. And so that's exactly who I've gone to. Yes. Yeah. The people who are initially willing to give you the money and they're not asking for it back.
Yeah.
So that's the first, money you get.
Yeah.
So, and then you realize you're kind of wearing that out. So now you start with new terms. So then it's like, hey, how about I pay it back in this period of time, and so then you introduce paying back, and then now how about a bit of an interest rate, and so that's where I've been playing. That's how I've
but it's also kind of easier to manage your family and friends, because you can have these conversations, you can have these open, honest conversations about borrowing or whatever it is, and then set an interest rate. Unlike borrowing from a bank, for example. I mean, these Kenyan rates are
wild.
I don't even know how anyone is affording borrowing from a bank at whatever percent it is now.
Yeah.
So I think it just gives you a bit more flexibility, even though there's limited funding.
Exactly.
Than if you've chosen to kind of grow organically from there, then you can control what's going on and don't find yourself in a sticky situation or madly in debt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it comes at a cost, right? Because then it's limited capital, and so then the growth has been slow.
Yeah.
And then, as I said as well, being the only full-time employee, that has also come at a cost.
Yeah.
But I think that personally, I feel like I needed that to get to this place where now I have the confidence to take on more staff. Now I have the confidence to have more conversations with more formal investors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you envisioned your growth to look a certain way. Mm-hmm. And what was that? What was that vision, and how does it compare to what it actually looks like? The slow, steady growth. What was it?
Just classic startup ideas, classic hockey stick,
Yeah.
where we're just gonna 10x our revenue in no time. So that's what I envisioned. That's what I hoped for. But I think already from doing the business in the US, where you have absolutely no network, I changed states from where I'd studied to now where I was trying to launch this business. So I really didn't have a community. So I felt like in coming home, I felt very present to how much you actually do need to rely on your community, your community's community, to get things going. So I think that this time around doing Tea and Company in Kenya, I was way more paced. So I wasn't expecting what I had thought out of business school, thinking, we're going to 10x every year.
Yeah.
So on this side, I think I just had more patience, and I was just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm launching something that's asking Kenyans to spend more. And the Kenyan market is traditionally seen as very, what is it called? Very, what is the phrase? Basically very sensitive to price increments, obviously. And so thinking of that positioning, I just decided, let's see. I was like, come be a learner. Don't put any of your ideas and imagination to it. Yeah. Come, let the market teach you.
Yeah.
So I think that I learned to pace myself.
Okay. But now you're getting into exporting, or you are exporting. So how are you managing that? How are you funding that? And you also spoke about the export market and kind of adding value to the tea blends before exporting. Can you tell me about that as well, and why it, what was it, the bulk filler?
Yes.
Why does that catch a lower value?
Okay. I'm like, that's a large question. Okay, I'll start with I guess, the tea industry.
Yeah.
And so traditionally, Kenya has exported loose bulk tea,
Yeah.
which means just kind of like the raw product. So not literally raw, we're not exporting green leaf, but we are processing it, and we're processing bulk tea. So that doesn't have a brand, that is just generic tea in a pack, and that goes to someone else and they do the value addition. So they
Like
will
white label, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They will mix it with other blends, they'll add the flowers, they'll package it into the tea bags, they create a brand. And when it comes to the value you can get from that, of course the raw material will have the lowest price. And then when you look at tea, we've concentrated on a tea called CTC, tea that is crushed, torn, and curled. And so that's what we get in our tea bags. So if you open your tea bag, you see that majani that is tiny. So it's been crushed, torn, and curled. And so that tea is kind of, if you grade tea, it's kind of a lower grade, controversial, but yes, it is true. And what must be noted is we do very good quality tea. So our CTC is very good quality, and that's why other markets want it, and they want to blend it with other lower tiers to, increase the value and the quality of what they do. How we lose out, though, is that tea sells at under $2, and that falls. That's fluctuating, but it's not really increasing. Whereas if we are to create brands locally, if we're to do the value addition, the blending, which is what we do, the packaging, and sell a finished product, you can get much more for that tea. So we're concentrating on orthodox tea. That tea looks closer to the full leaf. So it is not like what we get in our tea bags. It actually unfurls into either partial leaf or a full leaf, like our green teas and our purple teas are full leaf. And that tea then sells, the tea on its own, actually even before you package it, sells for between $4 and $8. So you can see that increment. If we focused on that type of tea, our grandmothers would stop uprooting their farms and would stick with tea because they would be able to get way more from the tea. And then now when you package that tea, you're able to get even more, particularly if they can buy directly from you. Yeah. Oh, I realized I forgot to answer what you were asking about us exporting.
Okay.
So, yes, I have gotten my export license. We've just started to export. And so right now we are supplying a cafe in Scotland. So that's our first customer.
That's so exciting.
So that is
such a huge win.
Exactly. It's so exciting. So very, very happy about that. And our hope is to get into larger and larger export. So for me, I'd already consider, well, I guess in terms of needing a license and everything, the Kenyan government already has considered me an exporter because people can buy off the site and you can get your 50 grams of tea. But yes, our goals and our dreams are to be able to export our packaged tea to distributors around the world. So yeah. Fingers crossed, we have the license now, and we hope to take the next steps to get there.
So are you reaching out to certain markets? How are you reaching out to them? Are you going directly? And who are your ideal markets in the exporting world? Yeah.
Okay, so first, my goal and my dream is to get our tea to as many Africans as possible. Because we don't focus on our own. The model is to take things out.
And there's so much potential. I mean, Africa is growing so much.
It is. It is. But it is also very humbling because it's very like me to kind of go against the grain in this way because everybody's exporting out to the West, to the Russias, to Pakistan, to Europe, etc. And I am trying to export to Africans. And right now, the AFCFTA agreement is trying to make Africa essentially a free trade zone. But the reality is the logistics are just not yet there. This is even before we get to our customs. So I got a distributor in Ethiopia, but we're having such trouble getting my tea there. So yes, I've been humbled because I'm like, oh, I see why.
So logistically in Ethiopia, it's a nightmare to get specifically
Especially
any
to
given-
start in small quantities. If I
Okay.
was a huge player, like, our big boys in tea, where I can fill a container,
Yeah.
take it there,
Yeah.
and see and work from that side,
Yeah.
that would be possible.
Yeah.
But I'm doing premium teas. We are focusing on hotels, restaurants, cafes. And so my distributor needs to be able to consolidate and put me with other things. And then because I'm tea, I need to be put with other food, because tea can get its I believe the phrase is hygroscopic, where it takes in the scents
Of other
and-
things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't put it with the rest of what he brings in.
Yeah.
And so, but we need to start with a smaller package to see how that goes. And then, so now we're here trying to DHL it, or we're trying through
Which
the
is
Somalis,
expensive.
which is too expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
And they are also very cost conscious. So, so it's just been really tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, you can get, I guess you can, if the market is there, and I assume the market is there, you can grow big enough to get to that point where these logistics are not such a nightmare, and that the industry, especially the logistics, there's obviously a gap there that needs to be
Yes.
catered for. So hopefully
Yes.
somebody can identify that and
Yeah.
and support in that way. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, with all these challenges and dramas and difficulties.
Yes.
Do you ever have these moments? Because I know I have them more often than I should. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But do you ever feel like you want to just quit, stop doing this, and just move on to the next thing, or just quit for a while, or just take a break, or?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think particularly in the beginning, because it is very hard to do business here at home.
Yeah.
There are just so many challenges. There's so many things that that either don't exist or are very difficult and are only for big players. So when you talk about minimum order quantities of certain things, so there's just so many hurdles that along the way I'd be like, oh, should I give up on this and start a packaging business? Oh, should I, give up on the tea and do, XYZ? I was finding so
Yeah.
many other things because I can't get to where I'm trying to get
Go.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
with my product. So yes, very often. And
Yeah.
that's just looking on, I guess, like the production side of thing. Then there's also the sales, and we have such bad behavior in terms of doing business and paying people for their stock. And so you find yourself, running after your money, and you're like pleading with someone, and it's
just
like,
pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pay me what you owe me.
Exactly. And then there's the fluctuations, there's COVID, like there's so many things.
Yeah.
So at so many moments.
Yeah.
And I have to say what helps me is when I was still in business school, I met this American girl who had started a food delivery business, and she was doing really well. And as I chatted to her, she was like, let me just tell you something about doing
Let me
business.
tell you
exactly
how it is.
Yes. And
Yeah.
she essentially said to me that not a month went by where she didn't find herself in fetal position crying.
Oh, girl.
And so she was like, that support system
Yeah.
is the number one thing you need.
Yeah.
And so when I'm having these moments, I think of her. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
I'll, have my crying days, my shouting days, my poor me days.
Yeah.
But then get back
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
a couple of days later.
I think having that support system for sure is like vital.
Yeah.
But then being able to just push through those feelings is, I guess not everybody can do that.
No.
But I think that's
No.
that's what gives you kind of the entrepreneurial spirit and the
100%.
mindset is just these things are happening, and recognizing that they're happening is one thing, and then being able to push through those feelings. I think that's the superpower
Yes.
of being an entrepreneur. So,
Yes. And I feel like it's like the difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. For sure. Well, tell us, what's the difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner?
Because I think anybody can start a business, just like the idea that, anybody can, now it's social, anybody, you can get your phone, you can get a mic, you have an opinion, and now you're a podcaster or a journalist or whatever. So I think even with business, you can take your hobby or the thing that you loved or was passionate about, like I did, and you start it and you put it out there to the world and you sell it. And literally the moment that commerce takes place,
For sure.
you are running a business.
Yeah.
But I think to be an entrepreneur is to ride the wave and keep going.
Yeah.
And keep working towards building this thing that is bigger than you.
Yeah.
That the path will not be straight, and you keep on going, and you pivot, and you do all it takes to get to this goal of creating a product, a service, a podcast, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think this many years into business, I'm like, oh, I can say I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're getting through some things. Yeah, you're getting through it.
Yeah.
So is there a specific kind of victory that kind of reminds you that what you're doing matters? Your why? Is there something specific?
Honestly, anytime I have a conversation with one of our customers and they tell me how much they love the tea and what they love about the tea or what the brand has come to mean to them, that like spurs me on my worst days, on my, maybe we're just going to close shop this years.
I'm going to give it one more year.
Exactly.
And then
I've literally had that. I've called my family together on my birthday and I was like, guys,
this might be over in a year.
Exactly. I'm going to get one last push. And if it does not change significantly, it's over. Right. But when you meet somebody who gets what it is you're doing, I feel like it just renews me. I then remember why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what you're doing, is really important. And I think that even when we speak about bringing tea and tea ownership back to home, I think that's really important. And it's so much bigger than you, I feel. So
I hope so.
Congratulations for that.
I hope so. I really believe it. But then when you don't see enthusiasm in the conversation about it, when it's not something that seems to matter, it can feel like you're shouting into the void. And so sometimes I feel a bit like that, but I think about that importance. I think about the expos, the places I've been where I've seen Kenyan tea not be represented by Kenyans. Yeah. And I'm like, no, that's worth changing.
This needs to happen.
Yeah.
So then at this stage, I guess, what does growth look like for you, given that, you envisioned this whole journey to be one way, and it's definitely turning out to be something you didn't envision. Yeah. So what does growth look like for you? Is it numbers? Is it impact? What is it for you at this stage moving forward?
Wow, I think I'd have to say, well, one, that's a good question. I think it's a combination. It's numbers. You have to start with its numbers. Otherwise, we're not in business. Otherwise, it's, we're running a charity. And so it is numbers, but I want to ensure we have the numbers so that we can make the impact. And growth to me would mean being able to hire more women and train them up so there can be more skill, and that women in tea are represented right across the value chain, not just as the pickers on the farm, but right up and into the boardroom and into the country's policy on tea. So that would be huge. Having a Kenyan brand that is globally recognized and competitive, that would be, that's the dream. But the immediate growth would be ensuring at least all over East Africa you find SIP, and, you know, maybe somewhere in the West as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I envision that for you as well, and I know that's going to happen for sure.
you.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I should then ask, how is business today?
How is business today? Business is hopeful.
Yeah.
It's hopeful. I'd mentioned to you in private that we're trying to get a space. We're trying to build out kind of production, tasting rooms. Tea studio is my working title for now. And so that's very exciting. The cost of it is very daunting. But I'm learning that is what business is, what entrepreneurship is. There's always some good things. There's always some scary things. And so, yeah, I'm like, business is going because both of those things are happening and we're alive and I can see a path forward.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm going to say good.
Good.
I'm going to say good.
I hope that you do manage to get more funding through other avenues as well, because I think that would be the key to that growth that you're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And are you doing anything other than T&Co? Are you running anything, or what are you working on other than T&Co?
Yeah, so that's also true. Right?
Yeah.
Tea & Company is my life.
Yeah.
I do
I can
T&Co.
imagine.
Yes,
I can imagine.
all the time. I'm trying to be better about it. And so the thing I'm doing is trying to have more of a personal life outside of Tea & Company.
Yeah. Nurturing that personal life.
Yes, nurturing the personal life, nurturing hobbies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am trying to get back into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important as well for you to, as an entrepreneur, I think because it becomes our life, right?
Yeah.
You don't really have time for anything else.
No.
And so you can find yourself really stuck playing this record in your mind and going through the ups and downs of the process. But I think it's really important to try and or let it be part of your journey to find time outside of the business, and you'll find that even talking to other women, it really, it helps me.
Yes.
It really helps to talk to other people and just see what they're up to and see what they're going through, other women entrepreneurs. It's really helpful. So I would encourage you to really get that social life going.
Yes, you're 100% right. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I immediately said yes
Yeah.
to this podcast, because
Awesome.
what you're doing is important.
Yeah.
We do need to connect as entrepreneurs, as women, because I think that's how we thrive.
Yeah, for sure.
So I will also take that lesson personally, but I'm looking forward to doing it professionally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would Jennifer today tell Jennifer of 2018?
Whoa.
What would you tell today's Jennifer? Or rather, what would 2025 Jennifer tell 2018 Jennifer about this journey and where she is today?
I think I would say, it feels weird to use this phrase in this way, but I think it would be important to say it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
It gets better.
Yes. It gets better and you get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because building a business makes you face yourself in so many ways. It's so challenging to every part of you.
Yeah.
And I look at myself now and I look at myself then and I'm like, wow, you've actually done so much.
Yeah.
You've lived through so much.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'd want to say that, it gets better and like hang in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you first started this journey, were you building a brand or were you building yourself?
That is such a powerful and nuanced question.
Yeah.
I like it, it really just says entrepreneur to entrepreneur. Yeah. When I first started, I thought I was building a brand.
Yeah.
But I've realized I've been building myself.
Yeah.
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 I think we all start out that way.
Yeah.
I think we have this idea of who we are and identifying as a founder or an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through it and you're like, yo, I'm actually building myself.
Exactly.
And then you have to go through all these things that may or may not make the business work or may not build your brand, but you would have built yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those learnings, those lessons
Yeah.
are so much bigger than your brand.
Absolutely.
But you kind of end up living every day like your brand is so much bigger than you.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to say, just I guess if I could add to the building yourself. So I realized, no, actually I've been building myself. And then, oh, dang, I lost my train of thought. In building myself, then I realized that the brand and me, Jennifer, the individual, are one. And that makes it incredibly hard to do some of the things you need to do. So now sales, going out, signing on.
My favorite thing is sales.
That could never be me. Yeah. Going out and trying to sell the tea and sales, like at a market to the individual, they taste, yes, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with people who taste it and hate the tea. Just, water off a duck's back. It's fine.
Yeah.
But going to a business to sell the whole line and getting those rejections.
The character development.
Exactly.
But if you've decided that the brand and Jennifer are one and you get all those rejections, what does that do for you and your mental health and your psyche and your self-esteem?
Not good things. I went to therapy and I was like, is it for me or is it for my business? But I'm like, this is what brought me to therapy. Because I'm like, if T&Co is okay, Jennifer's okay. If it's not okay, I'm not okay.
Well, I really think that you actually have to separate that. Because
100%.
Yeah, you have to separate it.
100%.
Because anything that businesses come and go, anything that happens, has nothing to do with who you are as Jennifer. So it's...
Which I get logically.
Yeah.
But when you've put your blood, sweat, tears, personality,
Absolutely.
like I chose every color. I
Absolutely.
worked on the label, the
This
blend.
is me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is the physical embodiment of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And so, it's been a journey. And right now, I think why I can speak about it is because now I can see the difference. Now I'm creating paths and separation.
Yeah.
But for the better part of running this, it's been one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I'm not alone in that. So I'm like, for so many,
For sure.
Because I go to
100%.
businesses and because I love food and beverage, I always give feedback. I'm like, maybe they don't know that their steak they used too much meat tenderizer.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know. So I'm always giving this feedback. And the number of times you're meeting with the owner or the manager and they cannot take the feedback is wild.
Yeah.
But I'm like, because you're in it too. There's a part of you, if you admit that it's not okay, it's like admitting that you are not okay. And you can't do it or you can't take it and listen to it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, there are many of us in that sufferation.
But then if you were to, now that you're so invested in this business, because yes, a part of me is that very invested and very hard to separate myself in the business. But if somebody wanted to buy my business for the right price, it's going.
Yeah. I think that's the right way to do business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that, would you do that?
Not now.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, it's not yet what it is going to be in the world.
But if someone
it's when
offered...
it's that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not done. Yeah.
But if someone, or so let's say you get it to the point where you want it to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, it's a good business. It's happening. It's thriving and all of that. Would you sell it or would you be like, no, this is my baby. I can't let it go?
No, I'd sell it because now I'm able to see the difference. And now I'm able to trust in the Jennifer that built this can build something else.
Yeah.
And I even look forward to that.
Yeah.
So I dream of myself being this serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yes, when it's at the right place where I feel like I could get the real, where I feel like it's a complete, I don't know, adult, because it's a baby now, and it's ready to go, and somebody is ready to take it over. Happy to see it walk and go into its fullness.
Okay.
And then start on something else.
And what would that be? If you were starting on something else, what would that be? What do you think?
I think it's going to be hospitality based. I've accepted my fate in life. Yes, it's definitely hospitality. I love interacting with people, food, whether I go into the full-on hotel. I just know it's going to be in that a service-based business.
Okay, hospitality. I'm sorry, it's just a nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
It's an actual nightmare.
Yes, it is.
But you love it.
Love it.
So you would have your own hotel or restaurant?
Yeah. Yes.
And...
yeah, restaurant first. Yeah.
I don't even want to get into the story of how the kitchen burnt down. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, I want to hear that
Oh my
story.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. But yes. Yeah.
So you have legit passion and love for hospitality, and that's the direction that you would go
and
to.
like a business plan.
Yeah.
Already. Yes.
You already have a business plan.
Yeah.
And it would be in Kenya.
Yeah. It would be in Kenya, but I'm open. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Let me know if you need any input or advice on that. I'll tell you
definitely
all the horror stories that you need to prepare for.
Definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were being completely honest, what aspects of running T&Co are still difficult for you? What would you say?
Sales. For sure.
Everyone hates sales.
Yes. So I'm like, I'm really working towards how I can get somebody to go and do that.
But I always say that, like, sales is I think sales is everyone's least favorite. Well, actually, some people are like, they thrive in sales and they can take rejection over and over again. And I envy those people. That's wonderful. But to be fair and to be honest, no one is going to sell your stuff better than you.
That's the only reason why I'm doing it.
That's the problem.
But, yes, and it's the problem.
It's the problem.
And I think that because I've seen how much my business has built me as a person, I'm still trying to do it and get go out of my comfort zone and learn the lessons there, because I'm like, even as I train someone, it needs to be from what I've seen and I know actually works.
Absolutely.
So I'm still going to force myself to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's that type of sales, because I think I do very well in sales person to person.
Yeah.
But selling to businesses, talking to the purchasing manager, trying to get the owner, all that, no.
Sales is the worst.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to do then in the business?
What's the creative?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I'm a creative girl too.
Yes, I see myself kind of like an artist. Yes.
Yeah.
I love all the parts of it. I love the experience of it. I love hosting people for teas, doing the tastings.
Yeah.
I love the blending.
The customer journey,
Yes.
the product development. I
Yes.
get that's my jam as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, some people thrive in different areas, and some people have strong suit in sales, and some of us are the creatives.
Exactly. I think it's important to have a business partner. It's important to have a co-founder and that type of thing.
So would you consider a co-founder?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for a co-founder?
Not actively, but I'm always open.
Always open to a co-founder.
Yeah.
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 I think, finding the right co-founder is quite a task.
Yes.
Because, there's always family, but then...
Nope. Nope. And I love my family, but big no.
No, that family business separation for me was, it's non-existent.
Yes.
Yeah. But I guess if you can find someone who's very business savvy and like, I guess who you get along with
Yeah.
relatively well, then
Yes.
you're good to go.
Yes.
But yeah, that's also quite the task. You got to find the right person
Exactly.
with the right
Yes.
vision and the right
Yes.
goals and all of that.
Right level of maturity.
Exactly.
And then the complementary
Skills. Yeah. So it's good to know you're on the lookout for a co-founder. I just wonder where to find them, you know?
So I try and go to all sorts of business things, just network and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But I haven't given up. I'm open.
What legacy do you hope emerges when people look back at T&Co?
I really believe in what is the phrase? Is it if you see it, you can be it? I really believe in that. So that would be, oh my gosh, like that's even overwhelming to think about. It feels too big for, just me. But
Yeah.
if I could build something that then makes another lady feel like she can do it and inspires her,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. What do you think is the hardest thing about being a woman in business? Or what do you hope that you could share? Like, what would you want to share about being a woman in business? An African woman in business?
I think the hardest thing is the inability to raise the funding for your business.
Listen. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I know we get a really small portion of funding.
I think it's like 2% or is it under 2%?
Yeah. But yet, I don't know what the numbers are again on this, but we pay back better than...
Yes.
I don't want to say men, but others.
But yes, exactly.
You know, we start and run businesses successfully.
And we grow more sustainably.
Exactly. And what we make goes back into the community and all of that. So I just, I really wish people would stop sleeping on us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's sad that it's a global issue because
it is.
When I was in the States, that's what was happening. That was similar statistic.
Yeah.
And then I just assumed it would be different being in Kenya. And it's like, oh, no, it's the same.
Yeah,
and
it's the same.
Oh, you do need a white male as part of your startup because
that's
who
me started.
VCs are funding here. So
don't even get me started.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think.
But I would hope that we as Kenyans can venture into angel investing.
Yeah.
Because we do have wealth.
Yeah.
And I think it's new to us to consider giving the money to someone who's outside of our families. But I really like, I don't know what it is. I wish that we could kind of foster wealthy Kenyans opening their minds up to the idea that part of their portfolio, part of their investments could be in startups.
I agree. I think there definitely needs to be a cultural shift. And I'm not sure why we have this. It just seems so un-African for us to not invest in ourselves. And the idea of investing in a startup is not something that people with money think about.
Yeah.
So I just think it's just interesting. There just needs to be a cultural shift because you're right. There is money to be invested. There is, we have wealth on this continent.
Yes.
But yet we for some reason we don't invest enough in ourselves.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hope that changes.
I hope it changes. I guess to be kind of fair to us, I think that when we look at colonization, when we look at our histories, when we look at who has the money, I think essentially is like new money. And with new money, there's scarcity and you still need to build because when you look at old money is really long, essentially.
Yeah.
And so I understand the hesitation. But I also, when I look at Kenyan culture, we're very risk averse. But if one person does it and it works, then everybody starts.
It starts doing
you
it.
can see our copycat behavior.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
all these things. So
For
I
sure.
feel like maybe if it starts with one, you
Yeah.
know, then the idea, others will be more willing.
Yeah. But do you think we're a culture that also we're about getting rich quick as well? And that might be
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, that also definitely has its
Yeah.
part to play.
We're always
Yes.
looking for a scheme to
Yes,
kind
and
of.
it's me getting rich.
Yeah.
We're not trying to think about Kenyans
Yeah.
getting rich. It's
Yeah.
better if you can be rich and essentially stunt on
Yeah.
your neighbors, your friends, everybody else
Yeah.
who isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were stripped away of the brand and the titles, what has this journey taught you about yourself as a woman?
Wow. Of everything. I know it's taught me my own resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not think I was made of anything pretty tough.
Soft life.
Yeah, I thought I was a soft life girl. Entirely and thoroughly. And it's taught me that me, Jennifer, the individual, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that when I look at younger versions of myself, when I look at, the people I almost married type of thing, I can see how much of me was just hoping that things would be okay with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think in life you can hide behind your friends, your partner, your family, so many things. And what T&Co Company has given me is me having to accept the individual I am. I'm enough. And I think that's like my core wound, my core fear. And so, yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's so powerful.
Yeah, it had taught me that, but
yeah,
it's
building yourself
continues to teach me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, wow. And I think it's such a big lesson. It's not like job done, I'm enough and I move in the world like that.
Yeah.
But I think it continues to teach me that.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because that's a lesson I really need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really powerful. Really powerful. And so for any woman listening who's stuck between what her business was supposed to be and what it's becoming, what would you like her to know?
Wow. I would like her to know, because I think it's also what I needed to know, is you can't control everything. And also, there are very many exciting prospects on the other side of things working in a different way. And so when you hold on too tightly, there's so much you miss in sticking with this narrow path. But if you learn to just let go, even when things don't work, they help you see something else.
Yeah.
And they build you to be able to go in new directions, discover new things.
Yeah.
And so in a way, it's kind of good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're fighting against reality, really,
Yeah.
you will always lose.
Yeah.
But when you realize you're in that fight and you let go, it's been incredible just to see things the other side. And then to encounter another difficulty elsewhere and be like, oh, but because last time I let go and things worked out, I'm going to let go and trust that moving in this direction will work. And and that the friction, there's less friction and that opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, that's really good. That's really good advice. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. I think we'll end it there. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What a insightful conversation.
Thank you. This was really nice. I really appreciate it.
No, come again.
Yes, definitely.
No, I'm going to be watching you and just seeing what's happening with T&Co. And I really wish you all the best.
Thank
all the best.
you.
I know the business is going to take off and be really successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm claiming it. So yes,
Claim it.
absolutely.
To God's ears.
Exactly.
All right, cool.
Thank you,
Thank
Alma.
you.
This was
Thank you.
lovely.
All right.